Obviously you can't do all the things you used to do. You can't on any given night say, oh, I'm just off for an hour down the pub. It becomes a bit of an operation. Make sure you've got this, make sure you've got that. It slows you down, but it didn't stop us doing, as a family, things we did before. It didn't stop me doing. I still went to see bands, went to New York with my sisters and with Dan, and we did all them kind of things. So it was only in 2017 that it really started slowing me up, where I didn't want to do so many things. To my mind, you should be looking to find ways of doing, not find ways of not doing. Although I'm nearly 60, I'm not old. And I think if I was old, 75 and withering, I think you're more likely to be patronised the older you are. I think when you're younger, I think I'm experiencing people just trying to be helpful. And I've certainly not been, in fact, I've definitely never been patronised. So I was diagnosed pretty much exactly 6 years ago. Small lump on my knee. Doctor thought it was a Baker's cyst, and then he phoned me back and said he wanted to see me on a Monday evening, which is very unusual, and told me he was 99.9% sure it was a cancer, and it was. It was an osteosarcoma. So going forward, there was chemotherapy. There was an operation on my leg where they did a tibial replacement, which is putting metal in and plastic of the knee, and they hope to cut away the margins where the cancer is infected.
I remember we went camping, a big group of us, lots of families, and I remember walking over a bridge and Mick was walking in front of us and he was limping. And I said to my friend, I said, we've got to get him to the doctors, and that's where we left it. He went to the doctors, basically got told to wear a support and to take painkillers, and then probably a month after that he went back to the doctors and said it's no good, it's not getting any better. So then he was sent for an x-ray, and that's when they suspected the cancer.
You still get out, I drive. I get around, I use crutches, I use wheelchair. Not yet done the mobility scooter. That's to come.
One of the things that I think annoys him and Sharon a little bit is saying, oh, you're amazing, aren't you great, how brilliant you're doing, and all that kind of thing. And his view is that he's not really got a choice in that. You've just got to get on with what life throws at you. And that is genuinely what he's doing.
In 2018, I was re-diagnosed with a large tumour on my pelvic bone and had a hindquarter amputation. The first thing is telling my wife and then telling the boys, and that's hard because she wasn't with me when I was told. Then going on from that, I had a sleepless night or two and then pretty much got my head round it.
Mick has got a car. The car really has helped Mick. Obviously it's given back he's got his independence back. He's able to pop into town for whatever he needs, which has took the pressure off me a bit as well. Brand new car, I've never had a brand new car. Obviously it's his independence, and because of all the treatment that he's had, we've been Nottingham, Leicester, Stanmore, we've been down to the Royal Marsden recently to see about drug trials. So we've done thousands of miles since we've had it. We had to wait a long time for it, but it's certainly nice to have it now.
I am disabled. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I'd probably in my head would not want to be labelled that, but I am, and I'm not stupid enough to think, that I'm not. And by the terms of disability, I was probably disabled after my first operation. But I chose not to get blue badges and things because I thought I was getting on all right.
Obviously now looking back on it, it could have been a lot worse. We may have had to have moved house to sort of make room for a disabled, to help a disabled person get around. But obviously Mick's so determined and stubborn, and he just gets on with everything, which is fortunate for all of us, really.
For me, chemotherapy wasn't too bad. Some people have an awful experience. For me, the first time round 5 years ago, it was 3 days in bed on a drip, 3 courses like that, so total 9 days. Operation, came out again in another course of 3 times 3 days in bed. Socially, going to the pub, I still meet up with the darts team when they're playing every now and then, because I used to play darts for many years. I'll still meet up with the cricket lads. People look at you and you can see people staring, and some people are quick glance and look away, and some people go like that. But a lot of people tend to almost nod in some kind of, all right, mate. And women smile at you, and kids look gone out. Only one child has asked me what happened, and I said it was a shark. The kid's dad smiled, and the lad looked a bit baffled. But generally speaking, I don't. In fact, I can say for sure, I've not experienced any, if you like, hostility, any adverse prejudice of any sort. If anything, people are more helpful.
I think Mick's someone who's always known who he is, and he's kind of a very matter-of-fact kind of person, gets on with his life, and doesn't judge other people, doesn't want to be judged by anybody. He just is what he is, and he does seem to be coping, and he is, he is admirable.